Hello, everybody. I am Dr. Tina J. Ramsey, the host of the Tina Ramsey Show, powered by CTR Media Network. And today's topic is stop putting people in the wrong position. Woo! This is just real, raw, relevant conversation that we're going to do until we release season 11 of the Tina Ramsey Show, or I would say a question mark. What's the new direction, right? So we're going to be having these audio clips, these audio waves of information where I am just sharing from my heart and from personal experiences in order for you to grow, in order for you to get a bird's eye view of entrepreneurship, mindset development, and even some personal experiences that I personally went through or I had to learn through experience in my personal journey of growth in my personal life as well as business. So you will see how I interchange the topics because if you are an entrepreneur and it's no separation. I was thinking, in the beginning before I went to a school called KBVU University, I was thinking that you could separate the two, but now I realize you can't. Your life and your business is a reflection, a revolving door of each other reflection. And one thing that I had to learn is position. People, I call it the P's. People, position, placement. 3 P's. People, position, placement. Once I learned and dropped the emotions centered around this, my life has been so much better. One thing that I admire about men, I don't know if it's just the makeup of a man or what, but I think because it's pretty concise with men in general. And one thing that men, I feel, have the leg up on women, this is my personal opinion, so don't get in your feelings. But this is my personal observation from working with men and women over the years, including myself, is that the reason why I feel like men have the leg up on this area of emotions is because of how they handle their emotions, okay? For women, we are most likely operating in the standpoint of being very emotional beings. We are nurturers, we are helpers, we take care, we are here to, we more of being of service. And that's just generally the makeup of a woman. When God created us, we was created to be, or when you read in the scriptures, it talks about how Eve was made to be a complement, a helper to Adam, right? And so with that, we're created, we have more emotions, women do, some more than others, but we are very emotional being. We can get all wrapped up in the emotion of it and say yes to a situation, an opportunity, relationship, and all that because we're caught up in the emotion of it, right? But men, on the other hand, which I feel they have a leg up in this area, is because they are not emotional driven generally. Men are more like analogical. They're more logical, rational, think things through, provide the evidence of why you say this is so, right? And so I feel like in business as well as personal life, they have a leg up because for mostly a woman goes into the emotional side of it because it feels right, or I like what they said, or I like the way it looked, or I like the experience. Men, what is the proof? Show me the numbers, show me the paperwork, show me the history, show me the data. They're rational, logical from a period of time, right? And so when I learned the 3 P's, people, position, placement, and remove the E, which is emotions, I was able to grow, able to understand, and to be honest with you, was able to not burn as many bridges, so to speak. I was able to still cultivate relationships at a higher level because I understood the assignment. years, and I'm just getting where I'm refining this to a greater level. And I'm being honest with you because many of us, we ruin relationships, we ruin opportunities because we misplace people. And let me give you an example. For example, you may have a friend or a person that you knew for a while that has a service or has a network of people that you feel that when y'all come together, it will make a great opportunity for the both of you, right? And so now you're their friend and now you're venturing into business with them. Or it could be something that's purely platonic. But I'm going to talk about a friendship that maybe both of you are in businesses, you have your own businesses, and then you decide to say, hey, I want to hire you to do X, Y, Z. In some cases it worked, but in some cases it don't. I'm speaking about the case where it doesn't work. So you may have someone that you may need them to do some type of consulting for you. They may be a coach or something and you need their service. You hire them and the line is blurred between the friendship and the business. So maybe normally when you hire a coach or a consultant, you sign a contract. All right, this is what I'm supposed to do for you. This is what you're supposed to do with me. And everybody have a real clear perspective of what is required on both sides. But being that you're this person's friend, they're your friend, you go in and do the word of mouth. The words are in the air, right? And so maybe they start missing appointments or you miss appointments or the expectations are not met. So you're thinking, okay, they know what I want and vice versa. And maybe so. But like I said, the lines are blurred. And so you thinking just because they're doing something or they have a business of a service or product that you need, that you want for your business, that they will be the best option because, hey, they know you and you feel like it'll be a great idea. I would say this, proceed with caution because every situation like that is not always a good one. I had to learn from experience. You have to make sure just because a person is a friend does what you do, have a business that you need their services and you want to hire them, you better make sure that the relationship that you have a good solid, you treat that relationship or you treat that business transaction just like you would treat any other business transaction. Like I tell my friends that have a business and then we go in and we collaborate on something, I pull them to the side and I'm like, listen, first of all, before we go into this venture, I want you to understand as well as me, we're going to put everything out on the table. We're going to put everything out in writing. I'm going to let you know what I am looking for, and you let me know what you are able to provide because I'm hiring you for this service. So I want you to take off that hat of friendship and you put on that hat of this is a business arrangement, right? And many times what happens when you hire a friend, those lines get blurred if you do not have those hard conversations before you actually opt into a situation where you're hiring in friends and family or someone that you knew for a long time. And I didn't understand that because I used to think like, okay, this is going to be ideal because they know me, right? Or I know them and they hired me for a situation, right? And what I have found is just because a friend, family member that has a business or organization do what you need done, that does not mean they need to do it for you. And you need to understand that sometimes you can't hire friends and family to do business things within your business or your organization, because if it does not work out, it could have the potential of ruining that friendship or the family dynamic. It has to be a level of maturity for both on behalf of both parties in order for any type of business arrangement, business opportunity where you're working together to work, and mutual respect for each other's whatever it is that you're doing, and not taking things for granted, not being lackadaisious, and treating you, if they're hiring you, or you're hiring them in this scenario, you hiring them, treat you like they would treat their client and not as a friend. So you won't be having all these side conversations that you'll normally have when your friendship conversation. No, you need to have a clear distinction between both worlds, personal, family, and business. Now, let's speak of an instance where maybe you're not friends, but they are in your industry and they've been watching you or been supporting you in various different ways for a lot of years, and you decide that, okay, we're going to take this to the next level. Let's work together. Same scenario. I have found that you really have to do your research, and you really have to pray about it if you're a praying person like me. And even if you write everything down, if you notice that those deliverables are not being met, you need to be able to have that conversation where the person who you hire, which is a business associate, they don't get in their feelings, and vice versa, you don't get in yours. You come in level-headed, cool, calm, and collected, and you just treat each other mutually with respect, and you just talk about what has not been done and work on having a resolution for that, whatever it is that you had them do. I had to learn that you can't place and position everyone, even if you love them. Because 9 times out of 10, if you are placing and positioning the wrong people, it can ruin friendships and relationships. It can also ruin future opportunities because you went too deep with the wrong person. That person may have just need to be in your life just to be a sounding board, to be your friend, to be mutual support, to help you de-stress, that make you laugh, to support you when you have a project, and they just helping you. It's not a business transaction. They just doing it because they're your friend and you're the friend you want to see them succeed. You need to keep them there. When you start switching them over to a particular where it's more concrete, you're signing paperwork, you're doing all this other stuff, and it doesn't work out, you can lose out more. Because think about it, one project or one business arrangement is not worth a solid friendship or a business partner that you've been doing partnerships with for a while. It's not worth it. And so for me, the hardest thing was to, number one, because I was really emotional in a lot of my transactional dealings in the past, and I felt like it was a personal dab against me. And I realized at the end of the day, I had to take accountability for the relationships that failed, for the improper placement of people into positions and placement that they did not need to be in, and own up that I was the one that allowed them to have that placement in my life. And I went above the boundary. And because I allowed it, those was the results that I incurred because of improper placement. And so when I think about the growth that I have had just in the last couple of years, I'm going to be honest with you, due to improper placement and positioning of people, I lost some relationships in the past. Some I literally closed off myself. I mean, listen, I will block a person. I will remove them from social media from me. Like, I was like, nope, I don't like what you said. I don't like what you did. You know what I told you, and that was wrong. I thought you was my friend. I'm no. I'm delete. And sometimes I would have a conversation with them, and sometimes I wouldn't. And that wasn't the right way to handle. That was not the right way to handle any situation. But that's when you let the emotion get into it and then you make your rash decisions based upon your emotional state at the time, which is not always rational or logical. And sometimes you meet people that you misplace, thinking that you're there to work with them, and God is putting you in position to be in the room with them in order to help someone that they know, because your assignment is not them. Your assignment is maybe one person that they know, and had y'all to not get together, you will not be able to have access to a person that God has you assigned to help. And so when I understood that, I don't block people, not unless they scammers or stalkers. Now those people get blocked. People do some weird little stuff. I'm like, okay, but back in the day, did you get up under my skin and I feel some type of way? Block, remove from the telephone. You are out. I'm not dealing with that because I hate confrontation. I was like, nope. And so, but that was not the proper thing. Now, some people, they needed to be removed. Let me just say that. But as I think about it now, since I have this level of maturity and clarity that I never had before, some of those people, I should have just let them drift to the outer circle of my life. The outer circle meaning people who are still in your life, but maybe they're acquaintances, or, kind of like when you play cards, you have these 52, 53 cards, and you may not see everybody all the time. You may not associate with them all the time, but when a certain thing is going on in your life, a certain event, a certain opportunity, a certain whatever that is their lane of expertise, you reach out, hey, what's up? I thought about you when we had this project, or someone said they needed this kind of assistance, and you was the only person that came to my mind, yada, yada, yada. I should have kept them in my life. Yeah, certain ones I should have kept in that area. When I wasn't mature enough to see it, I wanted everybody close. I wanted everybody to be in my inner circle, right? And that was falsifying. That was not realistic. And that was not logical. That was the emotions of me that I just didn't want to leave anyone behind. And I felt guilty the more and more I grew in all areas of my life, that I said, okay, it's not fair. I want to help the other people, especially the ones that we started businesses the same time. And I look at them now, and I look at myself, and I see that they're not to the level that they would like. And then with God's help, I have reached leaps and bounds. Well, it's not it's God that helped me get that far. And I'm like, dog, I remember when we first started, and I want to help them do X, Y, Z. But that's not my position nor my placement. Okay. Some people are in your life for a season. I'm going to say it like this. Some people are in your life for a reason. Some people are in your life for a season. And some people are in your life for a lifetime. What I used to mistakenly do is put everyone that did something nice for me in the lifetime category. The hardest thing for me was to disconnect from individuals that I felt that was supposed to be for a lifetime. And then when I held on to them past their expiration date in my life, it did not work out good. It ended up messing up the relationship. Because what we don't realize is when we take it upon ourselves to try to make a situation work, to put people in positions and placements that they don't need to do, and understand that some of this positioning and placement is temporary. Let me say that again. Some of this placement and positioning is temporary. So a person coming to your life to be of service, to help you reach a certain goal. God have people that are going to help you, or have people that's going to teach you something so that it can fortify you. When you reach the next level, you will be able to sustain and be resilient, because now you understand the personality. Now you understand how to work and communicate properly, yada, yada, yada. So we mistakenly sometimes, once a person's assignment is done, and you know it in your spirit when it's done, the assignment is complete, and you feel it, you know it's time to not be as close as you was before, because the assignment is done. Meaning they still in your life, but they're not in that position anymore, right? That's the hardest thing. And when you hold on and keep a person in that position when that assignment has expired, you have the potential to ruin that relationship or relationships. And so I had to learn that when things have expired, to let it go. No matter how much I'm attached and love a person, I have to let it go, because I got to let God do what he need to do, because he's doing that for them and they're doing that for me. And I had to also learn how to not be so much wrapped up into my emotions and be more logical and rational like men think, to drop the emotion around a situation. Like my mom says, see it in black and white, not in gray. See it in black and white. What is it? Literally, what is it, right? And I had to do that. And I'm just going to go on record, like, for real. I personally sabotage, without me even realizing, various different relationships, because I allowed my emotions years ago to drive my decision and my actions, because I felt that I was done wrong. And in some cases it's valid, I was done wrong. But in some cases, even though I felt that I was done wrong, I could have had communication with those individuals, or it could have been handled differently, instead of just closing down, shutting down a relationship, blocking. Now, some people deserve to be blocked, but I'm talking about the ones that I can think about now, a couple ones in my head. I'm like, you know what? I didn't handle that properly. Yes, it was something that went on between both of us. Both of us did our little stuff. Then the emotions get the best of us, but that should not have been a block situation. That should have been a reassignment situation, where, hey, they're not as close to you as they were before. We still are cordial. We still can talk when we need to talk. We'll still provide assistance to each other when we need assistance. But hey, we just not, hey girl, how you doing, every single day. And that's okay. That is okay. That is a part of growth. That is a part of evolving. That's a part of life and business, and even down to people who work a traditional job. As you grow, as you change, your circle change. Your circle, meaning who. I have friends, and friendship and business relationships, but we're going to talk about friendship first. Friendships are different levels. I have a variety of different people that I call friends. I have some friends that I talk to every day or every other day. Then I have some friends that I speak to, and we talk every so often, maybe once or twice, 3 times a year, to catch up. We may get together annually to do something, yada, yada, yada. Then I have some friends that I speak to, maybe we talk, sit down maybe once a quarter or something. But all of us, in every single friendship, no matter if it's individual that I talk to on a regular basis, semi, or very little during the year, guess what? When we talk, it's as we don't miss a beat. And I tell you what, if I reach out to them, they got my back. They have my back. We don't have to speak or talk or associate 24/7 in order to say that's my friend. And so as you grow, as you mature, you'll realize that even friendships have different levels. And the same exact thing is done with business. You have some business partners that you speak to only when you need to handle something. Then you have some when it's time to celebrate. Then you have some only when different things come up where you see that their business aligned with a certain opportunity. Maybe you hear something. Maybe you yourself have a certain opportunity you want to present. And that's when you talk. And that's good. You have to realize that Relationships have different levels of communication, different levels of closeness, different levels of what you can do for them and what they can do for you. And when I start doing the 3 P's, people, position, placement, and truly understanding it for what it truly is, and drop the E, the emotions behind it, my relationships that I have now is much stronger. I have more clarity. I communicate better. And everything is overall way better. And sometimes, now I'm not gonna lie, I misplaced somebody recently, and I realized now they don't even know what's going on in the background. I realized, oh, I put this person up too fast, too soon. I need to move them back in a different placement, because now after doing some work with them, I realized that I moved them up to the wrong position, and that was my fault. So I'm going to put them in the position in my life where they need to be, where they can thrive, where it's no over expectation, because they're not capable of delivering what I need in order, the reason why they came into my life, right? And so when you see, I say that lopsided seesaw. So when you see that you're doing more than the person that you brought into your life to do, and you had agreement to do certain things and it's not being done, then oops. That does not necessarily mean that the person is a bad person. It just means that we put them in the wrong position. And it's okay. Now, the Tina years ago, I would have been like, block, delete, remove. But the new Tina is like, okay, that's not their fault. That's my fault. But they have no idea, because this is a conversation I don't even need to have with them. This is a personal conversation with myself and God, and the overall trajectory of what I've seen have been done within the time that we have been working together. They're not a bad person. It's just that they can't be in that position, and I put them in the wrong position. So I just need to move them back. We're still cool. We still work together and do different things, but I put them up too quick. Okay? It was that little pesky little emotions, hunty. But the cool thing is that we're cool, we're working. I had some open communication with them, and I said, hey, you know what we agreed upon? I'm still cool with you as a person, but I realize that you're just not able to do what I need done, even though you agreed to do this. But I understand, I see that you're moving, you're hustling, you're doing your thing. I don't want you to be distracted. Focus on you, because I'm going to have to find someone else to be able to fulfill the obligations that you couldn't do right now, because you are stretched beyond your capacity, and that's okay. Maybe sometime in the future, we will be able to work together more on a higher level. But for right now, I'm gonna have to, get someone else to do this, because regardless if you do it or not, I still need someone to do it, right? And so I'm letting them know that this is what has to be done. And having that communication, because I still value that person as a person. And that's why I take certain people to the side and have a conversation when I value them as a person, and give them that conversation, because that is something that I learned in, I already was on this journey, but it just solidified it when I went through the master's class with KBBU University about spontaneous conversations. And so I'm not going to go into all that. If you really want to know about spontaneous conversations and all that stuff, you need to just, if you have never heard of KBBU, you need to go to kbbUllc.com and just check it out. That is not an advertisement. That's just hey, I'm giving you an opportunity or resource. And so anyway, back to the topic. I had to learn over time. And I had to be honest with myself, transparent, real raw with myself, and look at the trajectory of the relationships that I had on a personal, a business, and spiritual level over the years. And in some cases, I didn't like what I saw. And in this growth, in this excelling, being expeditiously growth, but the growth is just like mind-boggling what God is doing. I had to pull back from all of that and really, because I want to be better. Okay. I want to be better. I want to continuously grow and thrive and be in a position to continuously be in a position in order to help and assist other people. And the thing is, as a leader, you have to continuously work on yourself. And some of the things that you have to work on first is accepting that you made this amount of mistakes that you need to redirect, that you need to learn from so you can build, scale, and grow from. And that's called personal development. Any business owner, any leader that is not personally working within themselves to make their core better, then I run away from them people. Anybody think that they are all together all the time, doing the right thing all the time? I mean, last I checked, it wasn't anybody on the face of this planet that was perfect. And the one person that was perfect walked the earth about 2,000, 2,500 years ago, and his name was Jesus. Like some of you call him by different names, but yeah. So last I checked, we weren't perfect. So we have to check ourselves. And so one of the hardest things it's more easier for people to check someone else than you check yourself. When you check yourself, that's true growth, that's true maturity, and that is a level of growth that when you can check yourself and say, man, I was wrong on that. Yeah, I handled that the wrong way. Next time, if I see some of these same similarities happen in another relationship, I can identify it and I know how to handle it and maintain it properly. And I need to put the blame where the blame goes. The blame goes on me. All right? Because many times we blame the other people, and I should blame the other people for everything. But then I realized when I played a part in it, because people can only have access to you if you allow them to have access to you. You can only work with someone that you agree to work with. You can only position someone. You're the only one that can position someone in your life, and you're the only one that can place someone into your life. You're the only one that can allow someone to have intimate space with you versus being on the outskirts watching you and your team and your community win. You're the one who decides to bring people from the back of the room to the front of the room. You're the person who decides on, I'm going to give this person my stamp of approval. And I had to realize that was me, because a person can't have that level of access to you unless you allow it. And so when you get upset when they do not reach your expectations, number one is most likely due to a lack of proper communication. You may have communicated, but you're talking all the things in the air. I have learned to write things down. It's all well and good to say, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, yada, yada, yada. Let me tell you something. When work is starting to get done and you don't have that stuff written down in paper, people forget what they said, or they have that selective memory. So that's why I have them or myself. We write everything down. Both of us go over it, make sure that they agree to the terms. I agree to the terms. There's something in it that they don't like in the contract or the memorandum. We discuss it and we adjust it that it is favorable on both ends. And if something comes up that, hey, I said I was going to be able to do this, but I reach a little snafu, we're going to have to change this. We're going to have to adjust this, right? And so how can I still accommodate if I'm not doing this? Is there anything else that I can be of service with, and vice versa? And so in this season, I need you to put on your big girl panties. Yes, I said it because it's raw relevant comment. And if you're a guy, I need you to pull up the big guy boxers, okay? Or some of y'all might be wearing Fruity Balloons. them tighty whities. Okay, I got to say something funny. But with that being said, you got to just suck it up. Okay, you have to just suck it up. and drop the emotion behind it and be more logical and rational if you're a female. And for men, continue to do what you're doing, but also don't don't be in the season of burning bridges when they're not necessary. Be in the business of building bridges and expanding your territory. Ooh, y'all felt that, didn't you? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Be in the business of building or fixing and mending broken bridges when necessary. And don't go burning bridges, because you never know when you might need to cross back over that bridge. And if you burnt the bridge, there is no more entry for you. It may not be through that person. Maybe you got to get through that person in order to get to someone that God wants you to get to. And if you burn the bridge, how are you going to be able to help them? It's going to be very difficult. Now, mind you, God is all powerful. He can still make it where you can come in contact with the person that God wants, that you're assigned to. But why make it difficult? Why make it difficult at the end of the day? And so as I do this self-reflection of my life and the growth that I have, or we have with our businesses, I'm being totally honest that it could have maybe possibly been much faster and much better. Who knows? I don't know. But I do know that when you fortify relationships in a positive, productive way, drop the emotions and be rational and logical versus the emotional side, you make better decisions. When you have open communication and develop your soft skills, which most people do not have or they lack now, because I feel like even though technology has helped us reach leaps and bounds, I also feel that it's done us a disservice in the matter of we don't communicate. We do everything through electronic devices. We shorten our conversations to emojis and thumbs ups and hearts and sad faces or whatever to convey our emotions. We use not spell check, but where it's automatic typing everything out for us. So we are forgetting how to spell. We are no longer typing in the number when we call someone. We are just clicking the name and it dials on its own. It's certain things that in the build and scaling of technology that help make our life easier, but in the future, it's going to be the very thing that makes our life harder. Because think about it. For me, when the storm hit and power and everything went off, cell phone lines was down. Do you know that most young people do not even know how to write a letter? And I know I'm kind of going off the rails on this. So we need to really not lose that, and communication and different forms of it, and articulating how we feel through our mouths, And so back to people, position, and placement, same thing. In your growth, in your scaling of, if you're doing a podcast, a TV show, you're an entrepreneur, you work a traditional 9 to 5, or you're in corporate America, you have a nonprofit or a business for profit, you have a personal relationship with your girlfriends, your boyfriends, your husband, your wife, your children, your family members, extended family. I'm just dealing with every aspect of your life. Stop putting people in the wrong position and putting them in certain placements that they cannot possibly realistically be able to achieve, so that you won't lose people that you really need in your life. Some people are in your life for a reason. Some people are in your life for a season, and very few are in your life for a lifetime. We misconstrue and we put so many people in lifetime categories when they was only there for a reason, meaning to teach you something. So maybe it didn't go well, but you learned something. You learned a lesson. Then we have people that's in your life for a season. They may work with you for a couple of months, a year, 2, 3, whatever. But it's a season. We need to stop going surpassing the expiration date of how long a person's supposed to be with you. and vice versa with the other people. And then we have the beautiful thing that is lifetime. That is something beautiful because it has been said. I was listening to a video and they said if a friendship can make it past 7 years, that's a lifetime. But anything 7 years or less, that's a season. That's a season. And I was like, well, dog, you would think 3 to 5 years surely would be a lifetime. And he was like, no. He was like, and I wish I could remember his name. He said, no. In that video, he was like, when you make it in a relationship, whether it's business or personal, if you can make it past, not on 7 years, 7 years or more. Now that relationship, whether business or personal, has now reached the category of lifetime. And when you think about it, the number 7 is very symbolic. It means completion. So if you are very fortunate to think about how many people that you have known for 7 years, you don't even have to talk to them every day. How many business relationships you have? I have quite a few, right? And I'm very blessed with that. But then I have some that made it maybe 6 years and a half, almost hit 7. And I'm like, oh, man. But they was in my life for a season. It was a long season, but it was a season. And not necessarily meaning that they won't still be in your life in some aspect, but they just not in the same arena of how they were before. And it's okay. It's simply okay. And you have to be okay with that, and don't try to make it something that is not. Because even people who fell in the range of 3, 5, 6 years with me, I can still pick up the phone and call those individuals. And if I needed something, they'd be like, well, what you need? Even though we ain't talking years. Hey, how you doing? We catch up and everything like that. So that's why I said, don't burn bridges in this season. Mend them. Build them up. Expand your territory. All of us are little beacons of light. That's what I like to call us, little beacons of light. But with every beacon has its own galaxy. Galaxy can be referred to as people. People is extend to opportunities, and opportunities extend once executed to impacting the world. So on that note, stop putting people in the wrong position and placement, and then you get upset and mad all in your feelings, burning bridges that don't need to be burned, talking junk, feeling some type of way. When you did it, I did it. They didn't get in that position and that placement by themselves. You did it and I did it, and then we get mad at them. So grow up. Mature. Do more personal development and see things for what it really is, removing the emotion of it. If you remove the emotions of it, you'll be able to have an amount of clarity that will help you solidify and sustain lasting relationships, whether it's people or individuals that you speak to every single day, every quarter, every 6 months, every year, every couple years, but you still can solidify and keep and maintain those relationships. Because everyone in your life, whether big or small, influential or not, have influence, have value, have substance. And you never know when you have to go into your bag and pull out a person that only they can help you. But if you burning bridges, guess what? The time when you need them the most, they're not going to be there. So this is the season to repair. So if you're a person that's been blocking, burning bridges like I used to be back in the day, I'm encouraging you, I'm imploring you to stop it. Now, if it's something that is toxic, narcissistic, that's a different topic. I'm not talking about that. That's detrimental to your personal, spiritual, mental well-being, which in essence can be mess up your business or businesses. I'm not talking about those situations. I'm talking about this situation where you're removing people that you shouldn't, because you got wrapped up in your little feelings a little too much. On that note, I hope you can find some value in what we just discussed in people, position, and placement, and stop being so much in your emotions. And as you scale, as you build, as you grow in personal, business, and spiritual, these are some things that I had to learn over a period of time. To be honest, I learned these, sad to say, I learned these from trial and error. And now being on the other side of it, not being so emotional, I can see it and having the amount of clarity and peace of mind that I never had before on all levels of my life. That's spiritual standpoint, financial, emotional, mental, business, relationships, both personal as well as friendships with others, to now see it on the other side. Like I can really stand back and see myself for who I truly am, the growth that I have had, the mistakes that I have made over the years, the relationships that I should have fortified and kept, but because I got into the emotions of it and had them in the wrong position. And I realize now it wasn't all them, it was partly me as well. Some things can be mended and some things can't. And I have to be okay with that, because guess what? I made my bed hard and I have to lie in it, right? And so, but I am here to say now, I want you to learn from the mistakes and I would say life lessons that I have learned on this journey of personal growth, spiritual growth, and business growth in all areas, and just relationships and communication. This did not come overnight. This came over a period of time, and it came when I was willing to accept that I was wrong in some of those cases. Okay? And the hardest thing mostly for us is to admit that we're wrong, or that we played a role in the outworking of the demise of that particular relationship. Because normally what you do, you play victim and you point fingers. Yeah, they may have did something to you, but you did not have to react the way that you did in order for it to kind of be like a avalanche and it just spiraled down the hill. You could have stopped it. And even if you both mutually agreed that you're going to walk off and go your separate ways, it could have ended more smoothly, right? On a level where you could have mutual respect, instead of saying, I don't even like her. She don't like me. I don't like her. I don't like him. I don't like her. You know, when people have a distaste about you in their mouth because of a past whatever, right? Now, me personally, on my growth, I let all that go, because I had some people in my life that when I even hear their name, it just made my skin crawl. It just made the hairs on my neck. It just brought, I would breathe hard, like it would just bring up bad feelings. But I can honestly say, for those people that used to ignite those kind of emotions in me, I feel nothing but gratitude towards all of them, because had they not come into my life, I would not be the person that I am today. I would have not learned those life lessons that I have today. And I am just speaking with you. If you can see me, I'm smiling because I'm at a point with so much peace. I'm so rest assured, so resolute, that I understand why it had to happen. Some things just have to happen in order for you to be able to attain, maintain, and be able to grow and level up multiple times. Some of that stuff have to happen. That was the part of the plan. All right. And so now I'm internally grateful for each and every person, whether good or bad, that came into my life, that either came in my life for a reason, meaning to teach me some valuable life lessons and business lessons that help fortify me to be stronger, more resilient, and get things together better, because I didn't know what I didn't know. But their relationship helped me get to know it. It hurt. I remember it, but it hurt enough that made me move to action to be able to make myself better. So thank you for all those people. That was the reason. And then I think about the people that was there for a season. Maybe you was in my life for a month, 3 months, a year, 2, 3, 6. I thank you. I thank all of you. Okay. And then now we get to the lifetime people. Yes, the lifetime people, the people who help you get through the storm. They played a part. The people who've been there when it wasn't good, they sometimes experience what you went through before I matured to this level. They saw me at my worst, and now they see me at my best, and they didn't drop me when some of the rest did, right? I thank you, because now we're in it for the lifetime, 7 years and above. Because these people, whether they're personal relationships or business partners, they authentically love you for you. They're willing to take you as you are, flaws, good, bad, ups, down, twists, and turns. And these are some of the people that you may have a disagreement with and be like, I ain't even gonna talk to you. And then 30 minutes later after you get off the phone, be like, I'm sorry. I thank you. I thank every single person, whether good or bad, whether there was a reason, a season, or a lifetime. The cool thing is that now I can see with all this clarity is that everything that has happened in my life, the mistakes that I like to call life lessons, it all happened for a reason, right? And the mishaps, it all happened for a reason that brought me to this season, this lifetime of abundance in every area of my life. And I would say, as just a person, an entrepreneur, career-based, whatever, when you get to this point, it's a matter of peace, clarity, resolution that will fortify you even when it's not easy to do it, because now you have the experience. Now you have the backing that you know, and you understand why and how this system works. And you just be like, thank you, God, because we came a long way. And I'm not saying that I'm through learning, because Lord knows I'm still learning, I'm still growing. And once you understand that you're going to ever grow, you should always be open to ever growing, ever revolving, and also continuously doing that inside work. Because as an entrepreneur, as a person in general, you have to be okay with that. You will never be know enough information. You will never have everything together all the time. This journey of life is all about continuously working on yourself. Continuously working on yourself. You will never have it 100% because we're not perfect. But as long as you keep working on yourself, on the inside of yourself, a little bit every single day, you're doing better than most of the population who's doing nothing. So don't be discouraged. Stay motivated. And I love you guys. And this is Dr. Tina J. Ramsey from the Tina Ramsey Show and Podcast, powered by CTR Media Network, giving you some of these little tidbits of real, raw, relevant conversations, I would say. Sharing some of my personal experiences in my life with you in order to help you grow, and also to help you see the behind the scenes of what entrepreneurship really look like, what's really going on in the mindset of top achievers. What did we have to learn in order to build and grow? How did we fail in certain things? But was those failings, we changed them from failings to stepping stones, walking into our new life of abundance, right? And so how do we do it? How do we maintain? And how can you avoid some of the things that we did, and be able to avoid some of the pitfalls, right? It's some things you're going to have to go through, but it's certain things that you can avoid because we're willing to be vulnerable to share with you what really and how it is. Okay. So check us out on ctrmedianetwork.com. This is not the only show. The Tina Ramsey Show is not the only show on CTR Media Network. We have some phenomenal podcasters all over the place. So make sure to check them out as well. Now you can download our app on iOS. and Google Play Store. We are all over the place. Amazon Fire TV, Roku TV, Android TV, Apple TV, iOS, Google, every place where podcasting is playing, every major place. We also have a 24/7, 7 days a week online TV streaming channels. It's our version of having our own ABC, Fox, BET, Education, and PBS. We have our own version of those channels where you can actually watch. But guess what? It's created by independent content creators, giving you at CTR Media Network the platform in order for you to have more visibility so that you will be able to grow and also walk into your God-given gifts, your talents, your purpose, your mission, and be able to be seen, because our network, thanks to God, reached 350 million households worldwide due to our major distribution of being a part of podcasting, radio, streaming TV, social media, magazines. We are internally grateful for whichever way you decide to opt in and take part in what we do here at CTR Media Network. We are the place for independent content creators as well as business owners who need a place to share what they do so that they could grow. On that note, have a great, amazing rest of your day. And remember to stop putting people in the wrong position and placement, okay? Because get what? Just like it was my fault, and the results of it was my fault because I did it. Same thing with you. You got to accept that you made a mistake and fix it, okay? I'll talk to you later. Have a great, amazing rest of your day.